These protests were little expected because when you make something of so vast and so big, something which is for the first time, there are bound to be some people who might not like the idea of it, and majority of them do like the promos, the posters of the film. I think the film had to be watched before people people protest about the film. It's the basic idea. It's somehow the crystallization of the Sikh philosophy, which is very simple. The idea behind the movie is to give or tell people, maybe most of them already know it, the basic crux of Sikh philosophy which we might have forgotten. That is, believe in one God, and the basic principles of Guru Nanak, of basic principles of Guru Nanak's core philosophy, which he had travelled long time and spread, is kirt karo. That is, you work hard. Vand chako, that is, you simply whatever you work, you earn, you share. That is how somehow the inception of the Langar community came in. And Naam Japo, that is, recite his name, keep his name in mind. It is very simple philosophy which we try to say. I don't think the simple philosophy which might help younger generation to know what Sikh philosophy is all about calls for protest.
I want to know that how it started, how the whole scenario of the film started.
See, the basic, we had to start, there was no reference for any pre-Mughal film because it's based in 14th, 15th century. So a lot of research work had to go in. The first thing what was done was the 9 shabads of the film, which Sardar Singh, the music director, and Sardar Nirmal Singh, the Ragi of Golden Temple. So together they composed those 9 shabads, which actually was an inspiration for me to look into the film, to give a spiritual feel to the film. That was a huge pillars to make that film. What was also the major issue was to create a film in those times, a lot of money had to be spent. And as Guru Nanak had travelled far and wide, we had to shoot in different locations all around the world, all around India. And to go to every place and make a set, shoot over there, it was quite a tedious task. But we formed a very good team for it.
Can you describe the team which worked with you in this great venture?
When we started shooting, I thought I need a robust team which can work really hard and long hours. Few of them were from my previous film, Soch Lo. So I need extensive work on my costumes and my production design and on my makeup, as we couldn't afford the prosthetic makeup from abroad. So we had gotten board the Priti Shields and Clover Wharton. We got on board Priti Shield and Clover Wharton on the film. And for costumes we hired Payal Saluja. She's a veteran. She's got a very busy and from NID. Payal Saluja, she was quite famous and she had done a graduation from NID. She worked in a lot of films before that. So these people came on board. Alok Haldar worked as a production designer and we started doing it. What was very important for me was the entire shooting of the film at natural locations, plus the VFX had to be done because of the time zone. At the locations we had done, there were a lot of modern elements over there. And so Mark D'Souza, VFX supervisor, came on board. So he was there in every aspect of filmmaking. So we had to do a lot of cleaning, sometimes set extensions. And then I had my cameraman. So we decided that we will shoot multi cameras, because it had to be shot within certain amount of days, and we had to create a CG character within the live action. So we used multi cameras. So when Sandeep Patil, my DOP, along with his team, he always had a second unit DOP, third unit DOP. So we had to give that very a very floated feeling, a soothing feeling to the entire film. And it would have been very difficult to make actors to restrict them. We didn't have to restrict them. So I had just to capture them when they were acting. Of course, there was a lot of communication, what to say, what not to say, how to go for the characters. So with the entire team, it was basically it's a team. It's a team matter. You can't, a single man can't make a film. Then there are a lot of occasions when I had a 8-day shoot for the war sequence, and I told Master Ji Mahendra Verma, sir, the producer says that he has only 4 days. He said shoot in 4 days because there's a money issue and all that stuff. So Mahendra Verma ji has done more than 200 films. He says tu marwayega. So there were around 200 horses, around many elephants, and more than 2,000 people, and we had to shoot in 2 days. So my costume department and the makeup department used to wake up 12 in the morning and start getting ready. By 8 hours we had to get ready. 8 hours took them to get ready. We could take a shot at 8 in the morning. So there are a lot of difficulties in making a film because there was a war sequence in those 2-3 days times. Yeah.
He traveled a lot of places. So how you overcome the situations?
We knew where he traveled. He traveled from primarily he stayed in Punjab. Then there were a lot of places he visited which are called Udasis and Udasis. So he traveled towards Afghanistan, towards Sialkot and this Pakistan right now, which is Western Punjab. And we have to find locations within this Punjab to suit those areas. So wherever we used to find the location, make a small set. After making a set, we also had to work, be away from the locations because of the sound. We were doing sync sound. Santosh Kumar was doing a sync sound for me on the location recording. Then we also knew that we had to raise certain modern architecture in between. So every area, like we shot in Gujarat, we shot in Rajasthan, we shot in Assam, we shot in Orissa, we shot in Maharashtra, different places. So all the places had to suit those time, and we didn't have any reference of any pre-Mughal film. We had this Jodhabai Akbar, which the Akbar came later than Baba Guru Nanak. So there were not many pre-Mughal films for our references. At those times they were 98% Hindu, and we were ruled by Turks. So the entire geopolitical economic atmosphere had to be actually read properly and executed properly. So these departments really worked hard on that.
What are the main challenges you faced while shooting the film?
The main challenges we were facing was it was basically kind of the script needed 120 days to shoot the film, and it needed around 13 to 14 schedules. The challenge was to complete the film in 70 to 80 days time, so that a team had to really put in a lot of hours in the film. At one time they also protested that we can't work anymore. I'll give you an incident. In Ladakh we were shooting, and it was minus 14 degrees. We went in the month of Feb, off season. It was minus 14 degrees. Arif Zakaria plays Mardana ji in the film. Through Arif Zakaria, Mardana ji, we actually tell the film. The narrative of the film goes through him because he was a companion of Guru Nanak Dev. And he said, I'll shoot. He said, I have to take off my shoes because otherwise I have to change the shoes in the post and it'll take a lot of complications. He said, I'll take off my shoes. Minus 14 degrees. He shot, he did the action on the snow. We shot for a few hours, and afterwards, after around 6:30, the team said, "Sartaj, I don't think we can work anymore."
You don't think that it will create a controversy between Muslims and Sikhs, because you have shown pre-Mughal area, you are saying, but the main thing is not the exact figure.
See, it will never create any animosity within the any communities, because it is not a religious film. It's a social film. The film revolves around. See, Guru NanakShah was himself a Hindu born. His best friend and companion was a Muslim. They traveled together. He never preached anything. He didn't preach in miracles or rituals. He tried to simplify life of every human being, every person, be it anybody over there right now. The first thing the preamble of the script which we made, that we make sure that we make a film, it doesn't hurt anybody's sentiment. It was, yeah.
Can you define pre-Mughal area?
See, pre-Mughal era is that before the Mughals had come to India, Babur had come to India. So Babur went and invaded India in the Battle of Panipat. Mughals came to India. They were called Mughals. Before that, we were ruled by different dynasties. They were from basically Turk and Persian backgrounds. That Ibrahim Lodi and Daulat Khan were not Mughals. So the Mughal dynasty started when Babur came in. And Babur came in during the times of Baba Guru Nanak. So whatever we have in terms of the references in filmmaking, we have a lot of Mughal era. We have Mughal-e-Azam, we have a lot of films. We have a Mauryan era films like Kama Sutra or Alexander the Great. But in between, we have never made a film between 10th century, 15th century. So we have to look back into the social culture and everything. The social strata, the language they spoke, the official language of Persian that time. Yeah.
What is your opinion about Sikhism? What do you want to say about Sikhism? Because it is showing in the film that it will create a controversy that Guru Nanak Shah is Hindu mainly. He is not Sikh.
I'm a proud Sikh, and I have done my best with the help of other people in the unit, with the team, to spread the message of Guru Nanak Ek Onkar to the best possible way I could, in the most simplified way I could.
But tell me about the team of actors, characterization, how you done the characterization of it.
The script was written by Sagar Sarhadi. He's written films like Lame and Silsila. He's a veteran film writer, and he has a very good language over Persian and Urdu. So his dialogues are very poetic. And to do justice to those, his sense of writing, we have to get on board people who speak immaculate Hindi or Urdu, and the actors who could dedicate the time. So Arif Zakaria, he came in as Mardana, the protagonist, and he was available for us for the entire span of 6 months, and he would give around 80 to 90 days. So there was we were very lucky to get someone like him who was dedicated. He learned how to play rabab. He was on time. He was into the film, and this team was made so that we do not have any hindrance in terms of production of the film. And he did his character bit, his nuances, his understanding of the Mardana character. He was a man in the village Talwandi where NanakShah was born, who had played rabab, and humble. He was a humble man. He got into the skin of the character very well, and he was there until the end of the shooting. The other, I wanted Tom Walters to play Daulat Khan. He said, okay, I'll do that. He had come for prosthetics. It took him 8 hours to get the prosthetic done. He was very patient with that. All the actors contributed a lot. Adil Hussain, he came, he said, okay, I will do certain days shoot with you for Raibular. Raibular was the headman of the village Talwandi, and he used to sit for 6 to 7 hours per day for the makeup only, because there was an aging in the film. He was 28 in the film, and he dies. When he dies in the film, he's around 80 plus. So there's a gradual aging, and the prosthetic artist used to work with him. So he was very patient around that. A lot of other actors, all the actors, Puneet Sikka was there, there's Neha Ahuja, Anurag Arora, Manav Kaul played a very special appearance in the film, Bhupinder Singh, a lot of other actors who actually were absolutely dedicated to the film, because they could see the work of the team, the work of people, and really got encouraged to that. So that was the kind of actors I was looking for, and I got it. Yeah.
Can you tell something on the part of music of the film? Music, what do you want to say about music?
The shabads which by Uttam Singh ji and had composed, these are the original recitations by Guru Nanak Dev, and they have, since he used to travel a lot, he used to give recitations, and Bhai Mardana would play the rabab. So these original recitations actually have been given life by Nirmal Singh ji when he sang those shabads. They were very beautiful. Yeah. So those, I would say that those are the pillars of the film, and they are very meaningful. When he travelled different places, in Kurukshetra he travelled to Sialkot, he travelled to Odisha. Everywhere he would recite shabads. So he had picked up what are the best was possible, suitable for this time, or the message that would reach people, the best possible message. So those 9 were chosen, that these 9 will give a right kind of a message to the new generations of Sikhs and other Sikhs and non-Sikhs, which will make them understand the philosophy of Sikhs. So that was, I think, I would say, the very, very, very helpful for the making of the film.
There are some news that you are not getting credit for your direction.
Yeah.
Can you read that?
That is the most unfortunate thing, that you work hard for 2.5 years and producer suddenly changes his stance and refuses to give you the credit. But I think the team knows it, the industry knows it. Baba Guru Nanak knows that I made the film. I think justice will be served. So
you are going to file any complaint or this?
No, there is always the case in the High Court, Delhi High Court, and the hearing is very soon. I'm looking forward to a very positive judgment. Yeah.
The team is supporting, only its producers are not supporting.
The entire team is supporting. The producer was well in sync with the team for a very long time. Then I would like to comment, but best of luck to everything. Yeah.
You had used 3D effects also in the
Yeah.
What you want to say about that animation thing?
See, we knew the film was going to require a lot of VFX in the film. Yeah. So what I wanted is that we wanted a permanent VFX supervisor on the film. We needed a storyboard sketching. So Mark D'Souza, he already had worked with me for that. He came as VFX supervisor for the entire at least 8 to 9 months. So every schedule he was present. So he coordinated with Tata Alexi, who was primarily making 70 to 80% of the VFX, and that's how the chain of events would take place. And it took a time. We had created 3D yaks in the film, feet of a baby and a deer. A lot of things we could not do practically on the sets were created within the film, which is a live action film. Yeah.
What is the main message the film is giving to the society?
As I said earlier, it's not a religious film. It is a social film. Social film means it's a film for everybody to understand that there is one God. Be it a Hindu, be it a Muslim, be it a Sikh, there is one God. That is the basic principles and teaching of Guru Nanak. And also, he said you need to go beyond rituals and beyond miracles and live the life at the best as we can within our own means and work hard. That's why and also there is a very good message for the respect for women in Indian society, where in the climax of the film he recites Pandajamye Pandanimye Pando Manganvya, about a woman who gives us birth, who was given birth to rulers, to the kings, to everybody, and how to respect her in a society, because without her would not be here. That is, along with that Kirtakaro, work hard, which is very important, we do it today. Vandishako, that is, whatever you work hard, you share with people, other community members. That's why the inception of Langar in India came in, for the Sikh community came in. And then take the name of a Lord, Nam Japo. It's a very basic, so even if this basic message reaches to normal people, I also learned more. My journey was very beautiful. I became a better person. And if somebody watches the film, it's very calming.
What do you want to say to audience in India or NRI audience?
See, I would say don't judge the film or be misguided by people. Just watch the film once, and the impact it might have on you as a person, as an individual, that is more important than to have a preconditioned mind that the film should be banned or not to be shown. You see the film, and that is more important, because sometimes the purpose is more important than the journey.
When it is going to release?
It's released on 17th, yeah.
That trailer is going to creating buzz on YouTube.
Yeah.
What do you want to say?
It's good. Majority of the people wants to watch this film.